doing, Panthers? Welcome back to the Coach's Show. I'm your host, Fletcher Newman, here with Coach Wendel, coming off a win on the road against Forney, the Jackrabbits from Forney. We talked a lot last week about the changes of the virus and how that has changed the season so far. So how has that changed the way the team goes about road games?
Well, obviously we got to wear a mask when we're on the bus and when we get off the bus and in the locker rooms and all that stuff, and be cognizant there of what we're doing. But our meals, we're not able to get meals the same way that we have in the past, so we got to do a little extra planning on how we go about eating and that type of stuff, both pre-game and post-game. But from a standpoint of preparing for a football game, it's the same.
Now, another offensive explosion this week. Panthers got 49 points up on the board. What are some key attributes that you saw in our offense this week?
Well, I think it starts whenever we move the ball as effectively as we have. I think for two weeks in a row we've had over 400 yards of offense, and it starts with our offensive line for us. And Marshall Hodges had a phenomenal game, probably as good as offensive line play game, single person plays we've had since I've been here. Just absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage. Ethan Hill got us started in the second half with 2 carries. I think it took 2 plays to score, so that really got us going and motivated, and I think we scored 28 points in the second half. So offensive line, and the fullback, and then the quarterback has to make good decisions in the option game. So it takes everybody.
Now, this is the second game in a row that we've seen some serious, points on the board from the Panthers. So what are some continuities that you've seen so far going from game to game in the offense?
Well, I think us being back in the pistol a little bit with the short shotgun set has helped our offense, and I think it has helped us primarily in the passing game, but it's helped us in the option game a little bit too as far as spacing on a couple of our plays. But it's certainly helped our passing game, and any time that we can complete a few passes, that backs the safeties off, corners off, linebackers off a little bit, and creates more space for our backs to be able to run. So it all kind of fits together.
Our defense also did a great job on Friday, holding Forney to no points in the second half. What did you see that was working in the defense on Friday?
Caleb Tompkins had a phenomenal game at defensive end. I think he had 3 sacks, 12 total tackles, several sacks or tackles for losses. Jalen Palmer has played 2 good games in a row at defensive end, playing at a high level. And then the total effort of the defense, just flying to the ball. Of course, that's a standard that we have, but the effort is there, and I think the other stuff will come.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the Forney game.
Okay, this is just a quick pass to Tay out on the side. You see the corners off up top, and we throw it out there to Tay, and he makes a guy miss, gets in the end zone. Nick throws another quick pass out to Zontavia, and out there, great perimeter blocking here. I think it's Darren Greason and maybe Diego Benson out there, but those 2 blocks sprung this play. He's got a lot of ability and obviously a lot of speed, but it doesn't happen if it's not for those 2 blocks, and Nick had to get the ball to him. So total team play right there. This is the first play of the second half. It kind of got the energy and momentum going for the offense. A little different formation than what we had done in the first half, and I got an extra blocker over there, and Ethan takes it from there. So this is the second play of the second half, so we flipped the formation to the other side, and Ethan just runs through 3 or 4 or 5 people right here. Just phenomenal effort, and typical of Ethan. This is a great interception, heads-up play by Josh Bowman at linebacker, running sideline to sideline, running towards the ball. Quarterback flips the ball up, and he just jumps up in the air and catches it. Good hustle play. This is just around the end. Good lead blocking right there, and Dylan takes it all the way in the 4th quarter. Good burst of speed. And then David, I think this is the last touchdown of the game on a triple option to the right. It's a good block by right tackle Hesselgesser, Daniel, and then he just takes off from there, just outruns the defense.
Let's take a look at some of the results of the other teams in our district from this week.
Richland dominated Pasco 53-0. Eaton beat Legacy 17-7. Legacy's down a few guys. They're playing hobbled right now, but I think they'll be back for district. Centennial lost to a 6A team and Wolford Friendship 49-42. And then Mansfield Summit dominated Lake Ridge 33-6.
Now, as always, you brought some players with you today. Tell us a little about who's here.
We've got Marshall Hodges, who again had a phenomenal game last week, has really had a great fall and really summer. Just highly motivated and grown up a lot, and loves to practice now and is playing at a real high level. Suspect that he'll have an all-district caliber year. And then we've got Nick De Los Santos, who's one of our captains, been around for a long time, just an all-in Panther, and really represents the program well all the time.
All right, well, first we have Nick De Los Santos here with us. Nick, how did traveling to the first away game of the season go for you?
It was pretty good, just like normal. You know, we got on the bus. I guess the only difference, we had to wear the mask, so that's pretty new. But it was all the same. You know, it's the same game we've been preparing for since we were in middle school or Pee-wee. So we just got off the bus and did what we had to do.
How has your normal season routines changed from last year due to the restrictions of the virus?
Like I said, other than the mask, everything's the same. We go out to practice. Besides the mask and the social distancing, everything's the same. We go out there, we work, and we go home.
Now, obviously, band and drill team weren't able to travel to these away games. So what did that do to the atmosphere of the game on Friday?
Coach Wendel talked to us about this, and he made a good point. Told us we have to, with them not being there, we had to create our own motivation. We had to motivate each other. You know, when defense makes a big play, offense has to step up and cheer them on, and same vice versa for them. So we just really had to encourage each other during the times. But other than that, I think we're good.
We also have Marshall Hodges here with us. Marshall, how were y'all able to create that energy to make up with the loss of the regiment and the drill team?
I would say it's just for one thing, we were just a very focused team. We came out there just with high enthusiasm, and we already knew because Coach Wendell told us, he said, y'all are going to be very limited. We're just going to have the cheerleaders and the fans, that's it. And we just had all the team just had to adapt to it and just go out there with great speed and just great focus, and we just created a nice little atmosphere out there.
And you were selected as one of the offensive players of the week for the Panthers this week. What did you feel that you did to earn that praise?
I just feel like I just gave good, phenomenal effort, just knowing that I had to make the biggest blocks most of the night. Just saying, like, although I had the hardest blocks, like, it wasn't just me, it was just the whole O-line, but it was just the interior guys was the main guys we had to focus on this year, which helped me get one of the best offensive players.
Now, have any of your routines changed from this year, from last year, due to the restriction of the virus?
It's just like what Nick said. I mean, it's just although we have masks and we have to social distance, I mean, it's just the same thing. Just go to practice and go home. I mean, same old stuff.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, this week we have our homecoming game versus a tough state-ranked opponent in Ryder High School from Wichita Falls. How is the team feeling going into this game?
I think good. I think we're excited. I know I am. It should be a fun game. Great competition. I think it'll be a great tune-up and a lot more, very similar team to what our district's going to look like. So very excited about that. Very excited about the homecoming activities and excited about playing on Thursday night.
What are you expecting to see from Ryder?
I think they're going to throw the ball quite a bit. I think they're going to do some run-pass option type stuff. I think they got a lot of good speed. They can run the ball, and when they do, they run it well. I think they're a high-octane offense, so we're going to try to slow them down by keeping the ball in our possession. But I think there will be probably a lot of points scored, and I think the difference will probably be the turnovers. If we don't turn the ball over and we get 2 turnovers, I think we're going to win the game.
Now, what are some of the differences from a coach's standpoint in a homecoming game?
Well, in-game, nothing. Most of the week, nothing. But you just make sure that you have fun. You want to have fun at the pep rally, and you don't want to play the game too early emotionally. You want to wait till the 7:00 start on Thursday. But I think the Thursday routine has changed it more than the homecoming has.
Now, what's been the theme that you've been pushing this week, and how are we going to see that played out on the field on Friday?
Well, we watched the video on Monday called "Carry On." And it's a great video for anybody, not just a football player or a wrestler. Carry on about helping other people, and that's kind of been the theme. Whenever you get tired or you need to suck up your guts, and you need to carry somebody else with you, and our team needs to carry each other, because I think it's going to be a tough battle. And I think it'll go 4 quarters, and so when you're down, pick somebody up.
Now, obviously, this is a Thursday game this week, and you were talking a little bit about how that kind of changed it more than homecoming. So what's been the differences in practices this week because of the Thursday game?
Well, we wanted to get all of our practice time in this week, so we practiced this morning on Wednesday morning. Got a Wednesday practice in, and then we'll kick the field and do our typical special teams Thursday practice this afternoon. So that's kind of backed things up a little bit, and then excuse me, probably quicker whistle on our live team periods, because we don't want anybody banged up. We want us to be at our best on Thursday night. And then offensive line did not have to drive the 100-pound bags on Monday, and we scaled off of the conditioning on Monday as well.
All right, well, that wraps it up for this week's edition of the Coaches Show. Thanks to Coach Wendel, Nick De Los Santos, and Marginal Hodges for being with us today. This week is our homecoming game versus the Rider Raiders, starting at 7 p.m. at the MISD Multipurpose Stadium. Be sure to buy your tickets online and follow all COVID-19 protocols at the game. We'll see you next week.